Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, we saw a really big push up on the S&Ps and index futures overall. The Russell outperformed the other three indices, up 2.6%. NASDAQ up over 2%. S&Ps on the day up about 1.8%, and the NASDAQ and the Dow up about 1.3%. Overall, gold today up over 3%. Unstoppable, pushing up to new highs. Silver, first time since 1980 or 82, I forget, over $50 an ounce on silver. Unbelievable. Avago up 10% today. Wild again, another crazy investment, and OpenAI into Avago pushed the stock up. We saw Bitcoin absolutely just trading in a small little range, but got caboosed from a couple of days ago, but really can't recover. Overall, we saw some really great patterns in Tesla today after the 60-minute time frames reversed to buy. Really, Tesla up over $21 on the day. We saw, like I said, we saw the NVIDIA up over 2.9%, up over $5. It was really Avago, NVIDIA, Tesla. Apple didn't do really much. Microsoft up 0.5%. We saw, like I said, NVIDIA, Avago, Tesla really pushing the market up here today, and gold where the big money going into. How anybody could be buying gold up at these levels is like the eighth wonder of the world, but it is. And I would be buying GLLs here again, looking for a push down on gold. You're about 270 points above the 10-bar weighted moving average on the daily. Way overextended here. You know, we saw this market drop based upon the announcement by President Trump with 100% tariffs on China because of the rare earth minerals that China is not wanting to release. This is not going to get resolved, even though they're trying to play nice in the sandbox. But, you know, China's not budging. I think, again, we have another gap here, which I'll show you on the daily charts, up 90 points lower from where we are. Again, we have the gap from today. We have the gap to 62.50. We have the gap at 60.50. We have the gap at 57.70. And remember, this sell-off came out of nowhere. And I just think the complacency level here again, I think people are rushing in to buy dips in the market. I only think that I've been doing this again, like I said, for 43 years, that I would not be buying anything up at these levels. And if you are in cash, be patient. There will be a time to put the money to work, but not here. All right. So let me show you the patterns here on the on Avago. First of all, before we start, there were three great patterns today on the 15-minute spiders. You can see the gap up here, okay, and then we got the push down here on the 15. Here's a second push down on the 15. Here's a third push down on the 15. And I'll tell you, for a day that was a bank holiday, we did see a lot of activity here in the markets. Really great patterns here. So again, something to think about, something to really watch here. We saw the big buy reversals on the 15, 30, and 60-minute time frame. You can see the 30-minute here reversed to buy right here. And this was the real big short. First of all, off the 60-minute time frames. When we gapped up this morning, I called shorts in Tesla, in spiders, in Qs, in the Russell, on the 60-minute time frame, on the diamonds, because look at this. You're pushing up here after the gap up, and you see this negative MACD. Well, the spiders hit 663.23 and then dropped. Look at this drop. Okay, spiders dropped like 35. S&P's dropped like 35 points, right? And really, to tell you the truth, then basically when we got the overbought condition right here, okay, it dropped again. So basically, the push up into the negative MACDs were really the key. And then after you got the big buy reversals, the 15-minute time frame had 3 great pullbacks. And normally you get anywhere between 2 to 4 great trades on the 15. Today we got 3 great pullbacks on the 15-minute time frame. You can see here on the QQQs, same pattern, the push up into the negative MACDs, identical same pattern again on the 15-minute time frame. 1, 2, 3 great pullbacks on the 15, especially this pullback here into the positive MACD was a really great long. The second, a higher pullback, and then the other third pullback towards the end of the day. Great patterns there. Look at Avago after everything reversed to buy. Look at this beautiful pattern in Avago. What a beautiful bull flag. Oversold, positive MACD, big buying pressure. ADXs are rising about the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. An absolute beautiful pattern in Avago on the 15-minute time frame. Even here was a nice little long here, and then you caught another nice long as well off the 15 right here. Great pattern. Microsoft could not get going today in a negative trend on both the 15, 30, and 60. First of all, when Microsoft pushed up on the opening above 516, you can see the short right here, overbought, or the price pushing up into the negative MACD here on the 60-minute time frame. These 60-minute time frames really were a catalyst here early on the opening for the market to drop. We saw Palantir drop over $2, same identical pattern on Palantir, and I'll show you that next. But Microsoft still negative on the 15, 30, and 60. And look at every overbought. 1, 2, 3 overbought conditions. Okay, every one resulted in a short in Microsoft. Palantir, PLTR, you can see the push up here today, right here. You can see the 179 is the high, 179.22, and look at this drop here, $6 in less than an hour. You can see the push up, the negative MACDs here. Now Palantir is negative on both the 30 and the 60-minute time frames, but you can see the bounce here right on the opening right here, the push up. You can see the short, and then the other short here on the 15. And then we're going to see what happens in Palantir tomorrow. But you got really one good short off the 15, but this pattern right here off the 30-minute, the 60-minute time frame should start heading lower. I think Palantir could be in for trouble tomorrow. What else? Let's look at we looked at Tesla. Really great pattern in Tesla. Again, if you look at Tesla on the 60-minute time frame, you can see the 60 pushed up here into the negative MACDs. They were great shorts. And then when Tesla started to get you got the buy reversal here on the 15, and then the 30 reverse to buy right here. So when you get the 30 and the 15 reversing to buy, you then look for pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame because you go into what's called a buy disconnect. 2 of the 3 time frames are in buy mode. All right. If you go now to the 60-minute reverses to buy right here at around 230, the MACDs are positive from below the pivot. If you look at the 5-minute time frame right here, this is technically the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame, the oversold condition, after the 60-minute reverse to buy correlating with the 30 and the 15. And what happened? Tesla ran about $3. All right, you buy into the range here below 32, and you can see the boom, $3.50 push up. Got another oversold condition. Now we'll just, again, 2 great long trades on Tesla on the 5-minute after the 60-minute time frames reverse to buy. All right, when I get back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, I'm sorry I'm doing this late. There was a technical difficulty, and people have been asking me about the podcast, but I apologize. One of the things tomorrow at 12:30, Jerome Powell speaking, so there's really no economic data tomorrow. We do have retail sales and PPI number coming out later in the week. However, with that being said, okay, the market, if I show you this pattern here, right here, I want to show you the daily, okay, on the spiders or S&Ps. I'll show you either one. You can see the push down here, the algo reversed to sell. I'm waiting for this overbought condition to be, the oversold to be worked off. You have a negative MACD. This is not going to be a nice pattern here, okay? This is actually a very bearish pattern. You can see here the same pattern on the S&P and NASDAQ. We got all the way down to 65.40. We rallied about 170 points off that low, right? Again, working off this oversold condition. The ADX is rising, the negative MACD. I say if they rally, let them have them, okay? I think we're going down again. I do think these gaps below the market down to 6,000 will get filled. What's going to cause it? Who knows? Something just will pop out of nowhere. But for tomorrow, all right, for tomorrow, the 60-minute time frames look like, the 30-minute time frames look like they're getting oversold here. So I'm expecting one more push up. And again, if we do get that push up, I'll wait for overbought conditions on the 30 and 60-minute time frames to look to get short. The problem here is even though the indicator 4 has reversed to buy on the Qs and the spiders, there's no buying pressure. That you actually have negative selling pressure on the 60-minute time frames. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. If you look here on the 60-minute time frames on the spiders, you can see the 60-minute right here, you have selling pressure. So we just rallied 170 points and we got selling pressure. So really, to be honest with you, I will tell you, I think emphatically that if we do get any rally here in the next 1 to 2 days, work off that oversold condition. If tomorrow we rally, and like I said, if we gap up today, you short them, you look for pullbacks. That's exactly what happened. And I think if we get these turn up on the 30-minute time frames tomorrow, and you get overbought conditions, I say let them have them. All right? All right. When I get back, I will tell you something that you need to know when you're trading, and it's really super important. All right, so when you're trading every single day, I tell people that you want to make progress, and there's a process to get to making progress, okay? So when you're a trader, it's important to understand that every single day you want to achieve greatness and you want to see progress. Every day you just keep going and seeing the progress, write it down, look back at your trades and see any mistakes that you made or anything that you could have done a lot better. And to me, that's the game of the game, to always try to better yourself. Look for the ways that you can enhance your trading. And that's what I teach every single day. I work with people one-on-one. I work with my community of traders. They come to me. I help tweak them. And that's the most important thing, about being able to see the actual progress. And that's what's important about being a great trader. With that being said, thank you for joining me tonight on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Again, I apologize for the technical problem tonight. I hope that's corrected. Thank you again. And if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please go to my website, sktrading.live. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram is official Stephen Kalayjian, and at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you'd like to reach out to me, my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. Again, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm thankful I got the podcast up. And thank you, all of you. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. See you tomorrow.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.